Hey everyone, welcome back to another overview of my collection. If you guys are new to the channel and you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Even leave a comment, that helps a lot too. If you guys don't like this project, then let me know what you would like, and we can definitely see about making some videos that maybe you'd be more interested in. Without further ado, let's get back into Dr. Stone, starting with the end of the D's. Dr. Stone is actually a series I never thought was going to take off. I remember when it first started coming out, I was reading it solely because it was by Richiro Inagaki, I don't know how to say his name properly. Okay, guys, please crucify me in the comments. I love it. I live for it. It makes me happy. Anyways, so I didn't think this series was going to take off. I only read it because I love Boichi and I love Richiro. Richiro, he's known that he does the Eyeshield 21, of course, and I personally really loved Eyeshield 21. It was one of my favorite series. He also has done Kiba and Kiba, which isn't as popular, but this is something people don't know that well. Anyways, in 2006 he was actually chosen along with Akira Toriyama and Ichiro Oda to be a committee member for the Tezuka Award. I remember when I read this, as this was happening, because it was on the Anime News Network or whatever, back then. I was like, oh, that's so sick, dude, because this guy really deserves it, because nobody was really talking about Eyeshield 21. It was pretty much just me and my football friends, who were also weebs at the time, reading manga that appreciated Eyeshield 21 in the anime community that I noticed. Most people totally shit on it back then because they were like, I hate football, I ain't reading no football. And it took me forever to get one of my friends who was a diehard soccer fan to and he knows no rules of football. He thinks it's the dumbest sport. He's like, why would you call it football? You don't use your feet. And I'd be like, dude, shut up. Who cares? And so, he finally decided to read it. And he's like, I love this. I don't know anything about football, but this is the shit. So, it's really cool that Eyeshield 21 is actually starting to get more popular. And it's largely due to Dr. Stone's popularity. But Dr. Stone also isn't the usual shonen protagonist. Plus, the manga does a total 180. I think they did it because it was starting to do a little worse in the rankings, but they switched it from the main character to be, instead of being the friend, they switch it to Senku. And so now that it's Senku instead, they are able to go through a completely different direction, making it a lot more interesting. When it was, Taiju Oki, it's alright, this is going to be another meathead, protagonist series. Classic shonen. Not too popular. But, you can see, if you read the manga especially, the anime does a pretty good job of kind of sweeping it under the rug. But the manga, it's, blatant. The whole first few chapters are totally following OG. And Senku is just kind of, guiding him along the way. That's what it feels like. I thought this was going to be about teaching Oki, the benefits of science. And his best friend was going to help him team up and support him. No, this is all about Senku, science, and developing a new society. So I really, really, really love this series. I am shocked that it took off like it is. But even the anime, actually, my friends don't really like it so much, which I thought was really weird. But now that Stone Wars came out, everybody loves it. So I think Stone Wars was the biggest turning point to this series. But yeah, I used to read the scans of this because I didn't think it was actually going to ever come to America. And I read all the way up to chapter 80, thinking wow, this is so good. It'd be sick if this could ever come to America. And it did. And I had to buy all the volumes of this immediately. I haven't read them yet because I really, really want to binge the crap out of this series. But yeah, that's enough talking about how much hype I have for the series. Anyways, Boichi, who's the artist of this, also does the One Piece Episode A manga volumes. So that's the Episode Ace volumes, in case you didn't know. I want those to be translated so bad. I refuse Straight up refuse to read the scanlations of that because that has got to come out in America. One Piece is my favorite favorite manga ever. It's not my favorite anime. It's pretty low. But I love One Piece. It's such a great story. So I am not gonna solely episode A by just reading the scans alone. I'm gonna wait for them to announce it. Then I'll read the scans, then I'll buy it, then I'll read it, and then I'll probably watch the OVA if they make one. That's usually how I do One Piece. I actually read it off the Shonen Jump app, and then I used to watch the anime, and then I would read it again in the American release for the volumes. Lately, I've stopped doing that because I've got a huge backlog to go through, but I'll probably pick that up once I start to go through my backlog again. I don't know that I'll pick up the anime again though, because it does go to snail pace. I might pick up from Wano though, we'll see. Anyways, that's enough about One Piece. So Boichi also worked on Sunken Rock, which that has got to get translated now that Boichi is getting such fame. He also worked on Trigun: The Lost Planet. He did a short for Trigun, Badland Bullets Battlefield or something like that. I forget the exact name of it, which might be called The Lost Planet. I think that is the one shot that he did for that manga. Terraformers Gaiden Isimov, which where's Terraformers been at, guys? Speaking of, he also does hentai, which I didn't actually know about. And he does do a few Korean mangas. Some people don't know this, but Boichi's actually Korean. He's a South Korean manhwa turned into a manga artist. He moved to Japan from South Korea. And he majored in physics in college. And he did this to prepare himself to draw science fiction works. This guy's like a psychopath, okay? I mean, nobody does that because that's ridiculous. But yeah, so that's what he did, and he really loves sci-fi stuff, and he is an amazing artist. He's one of my favorite artists in Japan. I just love everything he makes. I thought Sunken Rock, when it was coming out, was one of the most gorgeous pieces of media I've ever read off of a scan website, because it's, like I said, never been released to my knowledge, at least. If this is out in America and I just haven't bought it yet, guys, I don't know what I'm going to do to myself. But I am dying for this to get to America. I think right now it's only on Crunchyroll. But you know me, I have to read things physically, otherwise I totally lose pace of it. And I did already read it, Scanlations. I never finished it though, but I would really love to finish it. So yeah. That is my opinion of Dr. Stone. I can't say enough good things about the creative team behind it. I really love the plot of it, and I really love the style of it. It's just, overall, is like chef kiss, you know what I mean? Okay, so this is Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. I'm just going to cover them all in this clip and only show you the last volume of Dragon Ball Z because I'm a mean guy. But this is a totally kind of bizarre manga that it's one where if you've never heard of it, you've heard of it. If you've never liked it, you've seen references of it everywhere, and you probably don't even know it. It follows the main character Goku and Bulma as they go around and collect Dragon Balls, making more and more friends and allies and villains and enemies and such. As they go around and continue to look throughout the world for these Dragon Balls, they run across many, many bizarre and interesting adventures. It follows the journey to the West Chinese novel and combines with it some Hong Kong elements of martial art films. As time goes on, Goku and Bulma actually grow up, and they age in the actual series. At the end of Dragon Ball, Goku is like a young adult. He's like 18, 20. And he then fights in a world tournament. After that, it starts to go to Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z starts with Goku as a father. And Goku then has to raise his child Gohan, which he named after his dead grandpa, up from a young kid all the way up to, an adult. So it follows that journey in Dragon Ball Z, and then in Dragon Ball Super, the journey is no longer really about Goku's friends and family. It turns into the Goku show, in my opinion. Dragon Ball Super is all about how can Goku get stronger. He trains with gods, and he doesn't go home for months at a time or something. It's kind of weird. But they open up the whole world. So now we find out that there's not just one universe, there's multiple universes. And these multiple universes are all, competing to be one of the strongest universes around. So, of course, Dragon Ball has its hands in many, many manga. I mean, it helped inspire Toriko and Naruto. I mean, it's a big involvement in Gintama, with references all over Bobobo. I mean, it's nuts. There's a few spin-offs that never came over to America that I really wish would. One is called Nico Majin. If it's in one of the box sets, I swear I'm going to cry, but I'm going to have to buy a box set, even though I already have the complete series, because Nico Majin was great. It's a self-parody of Dragon Ball by Akira Toriyama, about this cat demon who just ends up becoming stronger than Goku. It's really good. There is another manga called Dr. Slump, which does kind of also cross over with Dragon Ball a little bit. And Dr. Slump is also by Akira Toriyama. It's very good. It's a total gag comedy. Came before Dragon Ball, but does have a few crossovers in Dragon Ball. So if you know the girl Ariel, that's from Dr. Slump. Also, there is a One Piece crossover, which actually comes in one of the One Piece box sets, which is one of the main reasons why I want a One Piece box set, is all these little booklets with it, called Cross Epoch. The one manga chapter that's there is cool. It's kind of pointless. It doesn't really mean much of anything. It's just a neat thing. There's also 2 more spin-offs, 3 if you count the Dragon Ball episode of Bardock. I don't think that ever came out to America, though. Maybe it did. It's only 3 chapters. If I'm wrong, please somebody send me the link, and also a link to go buy it, because I will. Another spin-off is supposedly the cap-off of Dragon Ball, and this was before Dragon Ball Super. It came out in 2013. It's called Jackal the Patrolman. At the very end, it's revealed that it's actually set in the Dragon Ball universe and set actually before Dragon Ball, with several new characters making an appearance, such as Goku's mother, which is kind of cool. But that's neat. It also has Bulma's older sister in it as well. There's also a side story. It's called I've Been Reincarnated as Yamcha, and it's about a high school boy who wakes up after an accident in the body of Yamcha in the Dragon Ball manga, and he uses his knowledge of Dragon Ball to help him make Yamcha a successful character and not die off. And his goal is to end up dating Bulma, because Yamcha, he feels like, got totally screwed over by Vegeta. And so it's awesome. If you haven't heard of any of those series I was just talking about, I highly recommend checking them out. Another fun fact about Dragon Ball Z is this writer for Dragon Ball Super, or this assistant / helping him write it, is an artist that actually used to make a apparently he used to make an interesting manga called Dragon Ball AF, or at least was about to make it. I think it was just a doujin, though. I don't think he actually ever published it or anything like that. Doujin just means like a fan-made comic. And his name was Toyotama. And so it's a play off words of Akira Toriyama. So Toyotaro, I don't know how to say it, guys, okay? It's Toyotaro. That's how you say it. I know how to say it now, okay? Don't at me. Anyways, so Akira Toriyama and Toyotaro actually help out each other writing out the new Dragon Ball Super. Akira Toriyama has really bad arthritis and can't really draw like he used to anymore, so from what I understand, he gives Toyotaro like writing tips and helps guide him throughout the manga storyline, and what should happen next, give him like a loose outline. Some of the stories in the manga, though, are exclusively made by Toyotaro as well. Some of them have like a few tips from Toriyama in it. There's always a mix of both. The anime actually follows their like rough guideline, and then the manga is like them kind of writing it. So even though the manga was behind the anime for a while, the manga would still be considered more canon in my opinion because it has the two authors' more refined works in it. Though the anime is still really good. I mean, I don't think they have that grind Kamehameha that they do in the anime with Kalika or Kefka. I can't remember the fusion name, but that was just so sick. Anyways, yeah, I think that should be enough fangirling about Dragon Ball for me. If you have never even checked it out, I strongly recommend it. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are two very different genres. Dragon Ball is a total gag comedy with martial art elements. Dragon Ball Z is a total martial arts manga / battle manga with some comedic moments. The two of them have completely different vibes, but the transition between the two is very smooth. So if you like Dragon Ball, you'll like Dragon Ball Z, and if you didn't like Dragon Ball, you might like Dragon Ball Z. No harm in starting at number 1 of Z instead of starting at 1 of Ball. That sounds weird. Anyways, that's it for this. So Durarara is a total series. I don't even know where to start off explaining this. It follows a boy named Mikado, who's a young boy who longs for the exciting life of the big city. So he moves to it, Ikebukuro, to attend Raira Academy with his friend Masaome Kido. And he hasn't seen him since he was really young, so he finds out the boy's changed quite a bit, and he even has dyed hair. They meet at the train station. They set out to explore the streets of Ikebukuro. And Masaome warns Makido that people, you might not want to cross in the city because they have, violence. They're super strong. They're pretty much Shizuo Heiwajima. You also might want to avoid the information broker Izaya Orihara, the mysterious gang known as the Dollars. And also, there's this weird legend about somebody called the Black Rider, who rides around Ikebukuro on a black motorcycle that occasionally neighs as if it was a horse, and is rumored to have actually no head under the helmet, like the Headless Horseman, but on a motorcycle. The Black Rider's real name? I don't really want to get into that. That's a little too far for me here. I kind of ad-libbed the Wikipedia page plot summary there. There's some, a little bit of spoilers if you guys go on there, so I'd be careful. There's a sequel series called Durarara SH, which is set 2 years after the original series. I think that's only a light novel, though. I don't think that's in, anime format or anything like that quite yet. But yeah, so Durarara is actually based off of a light novel. The manga came out a little bit after the anime, I believe. The anime aired in 2010, started at least. And the manga, let's see, when did the manga start? The manga started around... I don't even know, man. This is really killing my vibes here. This is killing my vibes. Let's see. So the manga actually started to come out in 2009. So they were really close together. But there are a lot of Durarara volumes. There's actually 16 of them. Only 15 are in English so far. There was a little bit of a gap here. So Durarara releases them kind of like how they release ReZero or, Sentence of a Bookworm, where they have them in parts or different titles. Sword Art Online does the same thing. So Durarara, which covers the first half of season 1, is 1 through 4. Durarara, the Saika arc, I believe this is the second half of season 1. That there's only 3 volumes of that, and that stopped coming out in 2014 for America. Picking up right after goes into Durarara Season 2, or X2 as it's known in the anime format, called the Yellow Scarves arc, which goes all the way into the Redollars arc. Yellow Scarves has 3 volumes, and you could probably guess it, but Redollars actually has around 6. Oh, what's that? You couldn't guess that because that's totally out of nowhere? Yes, that's totally out of nowhere. I don't understand if the Redollars arc was adapted into X2 or if this is something else, because this is actually still ongoing. They stopped releasing the manga in Japan at like a decent pace. They used to release it, like 2 volumes a year or something like that. But then once the Dollars arc or Redollars arc started, we really slowed down quite a bit. We went from 2 volumes in 16, 1 volume in 17, 1 volume in 18, nothing in 19, and then 1 in 2020 with nothing coming out in 2021. The last one that we've gotten in America is Volume 5. Volume 6 has yet to be translated. I'm not sure if it's slated to be. I would like it to be, of course, because why not? It's published by Yen Press in America. In Japan, it's Square Enix. Square Enix is always weird, if you ask me. There are a few crossover mangas. So there's Durarara 3-Way, Standoff Alley, which is based on the video game. Mini Dura, which is a chibi gag manga. Durara Love, which is an officially released 2-volume collection of doujinshi by various authors. I can't even wrap my head around that one. There's also YZQ X Durara, which is a crossover of Yozakura Quartet and Durara, and Shooting Star Maybe, a crossover written and illustrated by Suzihito Yasuda, combining 4 series, including Durara. So interesting, I suppose. The main author of this is Ryogo Narita, and it's often illustrated by Suzuhita Yasuda. In terms of the manga, though, the manga is drawn by Akio Satorigi and Aogiri. I don't know, guys. Okay, I'm trying my best. But yeah, I don't know much about Shooting Star Maybe. It looks like it's a crossover, and don't even ask me how come I'm not reading it, because it sounds like it'd be right up my alley. SMT, Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Survivor. Is it wrong to pick girls in a dungeon? And then his own series, Yasuda's own series, Yozakura Quartet. And Yozakura Quartet, again, I also don't really read. I think it's a webtoon, not sure. Nope, it says it's a manga and anime series. I've never gotten into it. I don't know if it's in America. So if you guys like it, let me know, and I'll probably check it out. But yeah, that's Durara. It's a very bizarre kind of a series. I definitely recommend getting into it. It's a very mysterious one, so you really ride each episode to get into the mystery, and you only get pieces of it at a time, so it's just kind of drip-fed to you. And each time you learn something new, you learn it from a different angle. So the first episode might follow Mikado, and the second episode might follow, the Black Rider. And so you get to see the same set of events, but from a different set of eyes. So you learn a lot of different things from it like that. Another thing to note is each chapter from the first main 4, each chapter is called Wa, and then chapter 2 is called Wa Wa, 3 is Wa Wa Wa, 4 Wa 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 Wa, and etc. So I thought that's hilarious. But yeah, that's Durarara. Definitely I would recommend checking out the anime. The manga's okay, but I really think the anime sells it with the vibes and the settings. So this next series focuses on the main character, Renton Thurston, who's a 14-year-old boy and the son of Adrock Thurston, a military researcher who died saving the world. So he has to live up to his dad, which is high expectations. He lives what he considers a boring life with his grandfather in a boring town, and he loves lifting. No, not like the weights. It's a sport similar to surfing, but with a trapar or this weird kind of cool airboard. He dreams of joining the renegade group called the Gecko State, led by his idol Holland Novak, I can't remember how to say his name, a legendary lifter. An opportunity to do so literally falls into his laps when a large mechanical robot called the Nirvash Type 0 and Eureka, its pilot, and a member of the Gecko State crash into his room. Ren's grandfather orders him to deliver a special part to the Nirvash called the Amida Drive. This releases an immense power dormant within the Type 0 called the Seven Swell Phenomenon, and afterwards, Renton is invited to join the Gecko State, where he quickly discovers the behind-the-scene life of the Gecko State is hardly as glamorous or as interesting as anyone would have thought. The only thing that makes it worthwhile to him is the presence of Eureka, who is this mysterious pilot of Nirvash. Renton and Eureka and the rest of the crew embark on an adventure that shaped the future as well as the world's. So again, this is written by the same author and illustrator combo duo as Dead Man Wonderland. There are 6 volumes of this, but obviously I don't have them all. I kind of wish I did now that I know who wrote them. There's a sequel manga who is actually not written by the same authors, called AO. Another follow-up manga called AO, Save a Prayer, or spin-off manga. There's a lot of stuff here. There's also a manga series called New Order, which came out in 2012. So it ran coinciding AO. And then there's also NANO, which also came off during the same time as AO, 2012-2013. And AO came out 2012-2013 as well, with 5 volumes. The main series are the, base one, and then AO. AO follows the son and daughter of Renton. I believe it's son and daughter. At the very least, I think it's a son. But yeah, this is an interesting read. I didn't really like the anime as much when I was a kid. It was cool, but Renton was so whiny. I think maybe if I gave it another go through, I might like it more. I definitely would want to collect the original series, though. I'm not sure if AO ever came... Well, I think AO did come to America, but I don't know about the other series, if they have or not. But yeah, it's definitely worth a read if you guys have any interest in mechas, or Dead Man Wonderland. Also, it's got a similar kind of a plot where the main character, the two are very similar in my opinion. But yeah, that's Eureka 7. Really not too much to it. Just cool air battle mechs, which is not so bad, and air surfing like Sonic Riders. So I think that'll do it for today. We spent a majority of the time on Dragon Ball. So next video, we should probably be able to get a few more series in than we did today. But hey, at least we're out to the E's now, and we got out of the D's. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe if you like this video. And if you didn't, give me some comments and some ideas down below. That would be great. Thanks. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day.